So today I'm gonna just basically just name some TV shows, you know, my favorites, the new stuff, and some movies that are out there. And I'll throw in as far as, you know, the streaming services that it's on. This way, you won't have a problem finding them.
First of all, I gotta say, rest in peace to an icon from the Black Panther, Mr. Chadwick Boseman.
Yes. This year we've lost a lot of people, as we know, personally and entertainment-wise. So it's and for the people out there that's going through what they're going through, we feel for you. For the healthcare workers, you're the real heroes, not the cops, not the firemen, you. Because guess what? You have to deal with them. So if anybody tells you otherwise, no. And as far as delivery people or messengers like myself, we're part of that particular group too, because we have to do what we have to do too. So it is what it is. But okay, let's get on a happier note. So, you know, okay. So as far as my favorite shows that I still watch, we have The Conners, we have The Goldbergs, American Housewives. We also have all the Chicago shows. Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med I don't really watch so much. We have Billions. We have Ray Donovan, and of course one of my favorite shows, Archer, which is on FX, as most people know. And thank you Netflix for bringing back one of the best shows on television, Lucifer. Fox, you're idiots. Okay, but you know what? Nobody really cares about Fox anyway.
But you know what?
So whatever.
I gotta say something. I'm sorry.
Sure, go ahead.
Lucifer.
Yes.
I really don't like the title.
Yeah, okay, have you watched,
Okay,
have you watched this show?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and I've said this to enough people, and I'll say this my way too. Until you watch something, you shouldn't criticize it. I'm the same way. When I hear about some title and I go, oh, it must be a you know what, and they go watch it, and then you find out, like, you know what? Hey, this wasn't half bad.
I mean,
I agree, but again, the show is about the basically person comes down from hell, and his brother who's from an angel comes down from heaven, and basically, if you've watched the premise of the show, that's the way it works. Now they're up to season 5 or season 6.
You see, that's the thing. You know, from my spiritual background, and even included now, and what's to come, the title Lucifer alone just don't sit right with me. I understand Hollywood, they do what they do.
Yeah, but,
you know, but
yeah,
you know,
okay, I understand it, but again,
they had a show called The Devil or something like that. Remember that? The Devil?
Yeah, well, and you had a show called My Favorite Angel too, so I get it.
Look,
everything's related.
We're in New York City. We don't need to go watch a show called Lucifer.
Okay, well,
we don't need to see it called The Devil. We see enough
here's one thing Lucifer in 2020 has in common. It's both hell. Okay, so we get that. I understand where you're coming from, but again,
this is New York City.
Until you watch the show, it's not good to criticize it. I know what you're saying. Okay, I get what you're saying, but again, look at the stuff that's on television these days. Because of what's going on now, there's more different kinds of shows. You have your, you know, transgender shows. You have your, you know, binary shows. You have all different kinds of shows because people, this is 2020. You have all different, and you have a show called Pose that basically has everything.
The top show I love now, to me, is the best out here, next to Law and Order, is Power. That's just my opinion.
Yes, yeah, and again, that was one of my shows too.
Power is like our generation of The Wire. I think Power was more powerful than The Wire.
No. One of the best shows on television ever was The Wire. Okay.
No, you gotta be
okay. Well, people out there, next time we do this, and we might be going on Facebook Live. I'm curious to hear what you got to say. What do you think the best show was? I'm not saying ever, but is Power even close to what The Wire was? I'm curious to hear your response. All right, let's continue what we were doing. So like I said, Ray Donovan, Billions, Archer, like I said, and of course the other shows that I mentioned. Oh, and another show, a very good show. It's subtitled, it's actually in Italian, but it's a very good show. It's called My Brilliant Friend. It's a very good show about these two people brought up in Italy, and I highly recommend it. It's season 2, and hopefully it'll be a season 3, but who knows how long that's gonna take. So we'll see about that. And this is a show that I love. It's probably one of my favorite shows ever. And unfortunately, it's the last season. Shameless. Or as I call it, this generation's Married with Children, Roseanne, whatever you want to call it. But this is the most dysfunctional family on television, period. Nothing even comes close to this. But I guess 10 seasons, which good luck having 5 seasons of anything these days. For anything to last 10 seasons is amazing. So, you know, it's a shame it has to go, but you know what? I get it. You know, it is what it is. I guess most of the people on the show want to do something else, even though most of them, I say, after this show, will probably do nothing. But we'll see. Some other ones, you know, the principal ones, they'll probably do something. Emily Rossum, I wish you would have come back for this last season, but you do what you do, but I wish you well. You were one of the best things on this show, but hey, you're going on to do what you're doing, and I wish you well. Okay, now let's get to my new favorite shows, which is...
But can I say something, Shane?
Sure.
Listen, I did watch that show a little bit.
Okay.
It's funny, okay?
Yes.
It got some similarities to Married with Children. And Married with Children is like one of my favorites.
Yes.
If not the favorite sitcom ever.
Okay.
Next to Sanford and Son with Red Fox.
Okay. Sure.
And everything.
Okay.
Okay, and yeah, it would be sad to see Shameless to be gone. But you know, other people, they just want to do other, people want to do other things.
No. Hey, listen, usually, again, when a show that has as many seasons as that show had, you figure it's that.
Look,
it's that they want to do something else.
People never thought Friends or Cheers would never end. Look how long that was on.
Well, yeah, exactly. But that's my point. When something gets past, like, say, season 6 or season 7, okay, if they don't come back, you understand why, because they want to do stuff. But again, like I said, you can count on your hands the number of series these days that don't even last more than 3 seasons.
Well, Power's lasting, so our new Wire. Like I said.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, I get that. You know, it is what it is. Okay. So let's get to my new favorite shows, and I will basically give you the streaming services that it's on. This way, you actually could watch it. A show that I started to watch. It's called Little Voice. It's basically the story of Sarah Bareilles, who basically did the play that's based on her Waitress. Well, that's on Apple TV. Okay, we also have Carnival Row, which I've started to watch. That's on Amazon. And one of my favorite new shows, which my nephew actually told me about, The Boys. Superhero stuff, very interesting, but it's interesting. Violence-wise, it has to be on a streaming service because this could never be on regular television. Hannah, which I call a little La Femme Nikita. If you remember La Femme Nikita back in the 90s, this is similar to the show, but it's a good show. It's in season 2, but they're under production right now, so looking forward to when that comes back. And Fox has a show called Filthy Rich, which is, the main character is Kim Cattrall from Everybody Knows Sex and the City, who played Samantha. This is basically her continuing her role. It's a good show about this family, religious family in Texas that runs a church. Good show. And a show called Next. It's basically all about what the world is as far as technology is concerned. Basically, technology taking over and humans not doing much of anything anymore. Then we have another show
Reality.
Reality. Then we have a show on FX and Hulu. Fargo. Season 4. I don't know about the other ones, but season 4 is good because you got Chris Rock and a couple other people. It's a really good season. I think 10, 11 episodes. You could either watch it, like I said, you can watch it regularly on FX or Hulu. And we have a show on Hulu called A Teacher. Now, what a teacher is about, and this probably happened to enough. Remember when you were kids and you had that hot teacher, a math teacher, or an English teacher? Well, this is about basically a kid fooling around with a teacher, and basically, well, this is a story that happened in the 90s that this teacher ended up getting married to somebody that she was like 15 years older than. So this is a similar story, and it's running now on on Hulu. And another show called Woke. It's if you ever watched, I can't think of the show. I honestly can't think of this show. Well, there was a show on Fox, it'll come back to me, whatever. But Woke on Hulu, it's not bad. Amazon, Utopia. Basically what it's going to be like in the year probably 2030 or something like that, some futuristic thing. And a movie called Clouds. Religious movie, like a couple of them that were this year, not a bad thing at all. Hulu and Netflix, a show called Dead to Me, starring Christina Applegate, which everybody remembers from Married with Children.
Oh yes.
And Linda Cardinelli from Freaks and Geeks. Good show, very good show. Hopefully it'll be back for season 2. And then we have Dollhouse. Not a bad show. You catch it also on Hulu. And on Apple you have something called The Morning Show. Basically it's about The Morning Show. You have Jennifer Aniston in it. You have Steve Carell in it. You have Reese Witherspoon, handful of people in it. It's a really good show. On Netflix, I saw a documentary about this. It's called Money Heist. Really good. It has a following now. It's in Spanish. It's about it's about basically a heist, and it goes on throughout the whole season. I watched most of the seasons. I think now they're in season 3 or season 4, but it's a very good show to watch. And if you have Hulu Max, which of course is something new to people, The Flight Attendant, which I started watching, starring Kaylee Cuoco from The Big Bang Theory. Now, I never really watched it. My mom used to watch it, but I get the appeal, and Katie Cuoco's kind of hot, so I kind of understand that. So, yeah. It's about this flight attendant that goes through stuff, and it's like not a dream sequence so much, but she wakes up in the bed, and basically the person's dead, and she doesn't know what happened because she's basically a lush. Drinks her way throughout the whole series, and it's still going on, but it's a good show, and you should definitely check it out. Hulu Max, and I guess maybe it's on Hulu too. Okay, now that we got the TV shows out of the way, if I forgot any TV shows, well, next month you can bring us some stuff that we should check out. Then maybe they're a review. Oh. And well, you already talked about Power anyway, so I threw it as a fill-in, but you ain't. Well, yeah, okay.
Power's a good season. I mean, it's a good film.
Powell. Listen, Powell.
I'm surprised that my Method Man.
Powell
had the pleasure of meeting.
Powell was a good show.
It is a good show.
Even though Powell was Empire, but whatever.
No, it wasn't.
Empire. Yeah, well, people, if you watch both, the similarities, especially now with the new Ghost, which people watch, but they should cancel it. It's really not that good.
Ghost didn't really die. You read up.
Yeah. So if you watch if you watch Ghost 2,
and Tommy,
which is Power, well, okay. The breakdown of the show, very simple. You have new cast members, Mary J. Blige, who plays this tough woman.
I'm surprised. She's a good actress, but I would have chose Latifah.
Yeah, she's okay.
That's my opinion.
Yeah, she's okay.
Method Man.
Method Man is very good in the show. Now, as far as the other characters that were in Power,
Tommy.
Okay, yeah, Tommy. Supposedly is supposed to have his own show, but right now that's in production, so nobody really knows. Again,
but he's coming
anything
back.
Anything that's in production, nobody knows when anything's coming back.
Tommy's coming back on Power, y'all.
Okay. It's called Ghost. It's not called Power.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
So if it's called Ghost, that means Ghost ain't dead yet.
No, it's called Ghost Power 2. That's what it's basically called.
It's the same thing,
it's
man.
just okay, whatever it is. But again, as far as his son, he does a nice job, but he's not his dad, unfortunately. But again, maybe give it some time and it'll get better.
Michael Rainey Jr.
But
a good actor.
we'll see what happens with that. Okay, now let's get to the movies. Okay, being it's the holiday season, let's just mention some holiday movies that people should watch. A movie called Last Christmas.
I like that.
Yes, starring
I like that.
starring the Dragon Lady, and we already know who. If you're a games person, you know who I'm talking about. It came out late last year, but it's a very good holiday movie. And of course, It's a Wonderful Life because of good. How do you not watch that? It's crazy. And then we have Christmas specials. We have Mariah Carey's Magical Christmas Special. Very good. I watch it anything. And it's Mariah, people. Why wouldn't you watch it? Then we have Dolly Parton. She has her own Christmas special. It's very good. Called Christmas on the Square. Both on Netflix. And let's see what else we have here. Oh, and on Disney Plus you can watch something called Godmother. Not bad. It's really not bad to watch it all. Okay, what else do we have here? Oh, children's movies. Enchanted, obviously. The Croods, New Age. Watched it yesterday.
I like Enchanted, the movie.
Very funny, very funny.
I like the movie.
Yes. And of course, Abominable, whatever. I never could pronounce it, but probably the best children's movie, best animated movie.
Abominable.
Yes.
No, man.
Yeah. Best animated movie I've probably ever seen. It was really good.
I like Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, and of course the Toy Story movies, obviously. Toy Story 4. If you saw it, it was good.
Listen.
The ending was what it was.
They ain't gonna never stop making stories. They're gonna keep making stories
Well,
until the toys become black.
Well, obviously. But if you saw it, it was a very interesting ending. That's all I gotta say. If you haven't seen it before. Okay, let's see now. What else do we have here? Okay. Oh, and one of my favorite ones, which I was surprised I even liked, and I saw it, it might have been the last movie I saw before all of this started. It was like on, I think, March 13th. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh,
Surprisingly good. I was shocked because I saw the trailer of it the week prior and I was going like, no. But and Jim Carrey, he's back. Because that's the Jim Carrey that I remember, not the one that's been doing garbage for